Yo, welcome to the show. It's Boston's Banter with Frank the Bank and Keith KLava. You know the answer. Talking sports, breaking down the play so raw. From the Celtics to the Sox, we giving you the score. Catch the vibe, we coming live. Filling up your feed, let the passion thrive. Every dunk, every run, we analyze the moves. Shout out to the fans, feel the rhythm and grooves. From Gillette to the Garden, we ain't missing a beat. Frank and KLava bring the fire, can't accept defeat.
What up, what up, what up? Welcome back to Boston's Banter, where the sports are wicked and the banter is pissa. I'm your host, Frank the Bank. With me, as always, is Keith KLava, LaCava. What's going on, Brutal Synthesis?
Not much, Hunter Renbro.
Hunter Renbro. I like that. He had 2 touchdowns this week. That's
Yeah,
cool.
man, he's balling.
Yeah, we had our first stat challenge last week. Your boy, Ryan
Vanderstay. Yep.
Vanderpump, whatever. Vanderpump Rule, Vanderpump,
Yeah.
whatever that thing's called. I don't even know. I don't like that show. But nonetheless, congratulations. He had a great guess.
Yeah,
Pat, you were close too. You were a few away. So.
Yeah, Ryan was 1 yard off. You know, Drake
yeah.
May had the 261 total, or 262, and Ryan guessed 1 off of that. So
That was a great guess. So we're going to do our second stat challenge this week. We have a really cool card again. We got the Christian Gonzalez Optic. It's a red Hyper Prizm rated rookie. These are really cool looking cards. We're going to ask for guesses this week. How much defensive yards are the Patriots defense going to give up this week? So that's our stat challenge. Yeah, against the Steelers. So throw your guesses out there. If there's a tie again, whoever guesses first, if somebody's one away on the bottom and the top, whoever guessed first, that's the tiebreaker guy.
And you got to subscribe to get the card as well.
Absolutely. Thanks, guys. And let's jump right into the Wicked Pissah News. We got a lot of time.
Here we are, Frankie. Wicked Pissah News, brother. And we're going to jump right into the Red Sox update. So the Sox, they're currently sitting at 82-68 on the season. Still third in the AL East. You know, still sitting at second in the wild card. You know, they had a few rough ones this past week.
Yeah.
Some games that we needed to win.
Tough ones.
Yes, sir. But let's break it down real quick. So they shut out the A's for the second straight game last Tuesday, winning 6-0, outscoring the A's 13-0 total from the game and the one before that as well.
Yep.
Followed by a 5-4 loss at the A's last Wednesday to end that series.
That was a tough one because it was Chapman's first time he gave up a hit since like July.
Dude.
It's crazy. That was a tough loss. They came back, tied it up, and then they lost it in the bottom of the ninth.
I mean, he's still pitching the heat, but yeah, that was unfortunate.
He's nasty. He's been a great signing.
Then to start the pivotal Yankees series in Boston last Friday, they lost 4-1. Very unfortunate. Hated seeing that, especially in Boston, too. You know, we got some wins in New York. We wanted to get some in Boston.
Yeah, that was an ugly game.
Then another loss versus the Yankees on Saturday, this time 5-3. And lastly, Frankie, a much-needed 6-4 win versus the Yankees. Carlos Narvaez had a clutch 1-run home run in the first after a barrage of scoring to put us up 6-0.
We were up 6-0 in the first, didn't score another run, but I will say Crochet went crazy. He had 12 Ks in six innings. Like he went nuts, 2 and in.
Yes, he did.
He's averaging 2 and in.
Yes, he did. So, you know, we hope the Sox can keep it going, man. We're getting close to playoff time. We want to try to get into second, man, but I mean, those games against the Yankees, we could have got more, but you know, it's unfortunate.
I mean, they played good against the Yankees this year. We beat them a lot more than they beat us. I think we only lost 3 or 4 games to them all season. But
where we're sitting right now, I'll take it, but I would still like to jump up to second at least because I don't think we're catching.
We got some key injuries too. Hopefully, we get some guys back. But we have the A's tonight for a 3-game homestand. We need all 3 of these, honestly. So
let's get it popping, Frankie.
Absolutely. We had a little bit of other baseball news. We talked about this guy a lot this year, Raleigh. He actually tied Mickey Mantle's record for the most home runs. Yeah, isn't that crazy? Most home runs by a switch hitter in MLB history this year. And he's gonna surpass it. They still got 10, 12 games left or something like that. So yeah, good for him. Congrats, home run derby winner. He's had a great season. So
absolutely great season, especially one for the record books for our catcher. You know, like you just said, as a switch hitter and everything.
He's
so
killing it.
Keep it going, Cal.
Yes, sir.
But Frankie, let's jump into some NFL news, brother. And dude, we got a barrage of injuries. We got to bring up some real notable ones, fantasy and defensive players.
Yep.
So let's break it down real quick. So Commanders running back Austin Eckler suffered a torn Achilles in last Thursday night's game versus the Packers, and he's out for the season.
Yeah, he's on one of the teams. I was watching the game, and I saw it as soon as it happened. I'm
Instantly.
like, he's done.
Absolutely, bro. That was rough to see him. And, you know, he's up there in his age, too, so who knows? This could be maybe...
That could have been it. Yeah, it could be it for him.
Commanders also lost defensive end and former Patriot Dietrich Wise for the season with the torn left quad, also suffered in the Week 2 game versus the Packers.
They're getting beat up.
Yes, they are.
Daniels got hurt, too.
Yeah, man, that's very unfortunate. I hope he's playing. Another injury from this game, Frankie. Packers wide receiver Jaden Reed suffered a broken collarbone and an almost touchdown catch.
That was a crazy effort, and then he came down all the way on the shoulder. That was gross.
So head coach Matt LaFleur said he'll miss a lot of time. It could be 6 to 8 weeks, they're saying.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Oh, dude, that looked rough. And then Bengals quarterback Joe Burrow has turf toe, and he left Sunday's game versus the Jags and will be out 3 months to undergo surgery, Frankie.
Surgery, I know.
Mind you, 3 months, that's like the whole season, basically.
It's insane, yeah.
A huge blow for the Bengals, who are now currently 2-0, which, you know, was rough for them starting the last few years. They're sitting at 2-0. Now they got to
First time they're 2-0
right
forever.
Jake Browning, let's see what you can do, brother. But Frankie, remember the over and unders, 33.5? I said under. It's looking good right now.
It definitely is now.
Bears Pro Bowl cornerback Jalen Johnson suffered a groin injury in Sunday's game at the Lions and is out indefinitely. The team is still evaluating to see how long he'll be out, but as of right now, yeah, he's not going to be playing these next few weeks. Vikings quarterback J.J. McCarthy. Can this guy stay healthy, bro?
No.
He's dealing with a high ankle sprain and is expected to be sidelined 2 to 4 weeks. Carson Wentz in line to start. So this week they're playing
honestly,
the Bengals.
I want to see what Wentz can do, honestly.
Bro, this week they're playing the Bengals. Now they got to look at Browning versus Wentz.
I saw that. I saw a meme for that today, actually.
And that's not the only injury blow that the Vikings had to deal with. Now they got their running back, Aaron Jones. He's dealing with a hamstring injury, and that's going to land him on IR, you know, minimum of 4 weeks.
I heard that. He looks like he's heading on the IR.
But Frankie, we had one notable extension I want to break.
Yep.
Now, this guy isn't obviously a big playmaker when it comes to scoring touchdowns and everything. He's an offensive lineman. But
he's an important piece.
Jerry Jones decided to pay this guy instead of Micah. So let's break it down real quick. Cowboys signed guard Tyler Smith to a 4-year, $96 million extension. Now, Smith is a 2-time Pro Bowler and a second-team All-Pro.
He's so good.
Vital to that Cowboys offensive line. But like I was just joking about, Jerry's going to pay a guard this money rather than his premier pass rusher that he ended up trading.
Green Bay looks unstoppable right now on defense. So.
Yep, they were all screaming thank you, Jerry, last Thursday.
I saw that.
But Frankie, we got some notable free agency moves that just happened this past week as well. And speaking of the Cowboys, another guy we had a prediction on, we both got this one wrong. The Cowboys are signing defensive end Jadeveon Clowney to a 1-year deal. And like we talked about, they clearly need help on the pass rush and everything.
Now that Micah's gone.
I mean, obviously, Jadeveon Clowney is not Micah Parsons, but, you know, savvy veteran, played for a lot of teams, and he's shown that he can produce.
It's a good sign.
Right.
Absolutely. They need some help. They were getting tore up by the Giants. They should have lost that game.
Oh, my God, man. We talked about starting the Cowboys defense, which I did in fantasy. We'll get into that later.
Yeah,
but,
gross.
Gross is right, Frankie. Steelers signed former Patriot safety Jabril Peppers, who we'll see this week when the Steelers come to Foxboro. And Frankie,
I hated that.
That's still a head scratcher to me. I'm like, why did we cut this dude?
And our defense has not looked great,
especially on the deep ball, man.
I'm saying we've given up some big plays.
Yes,
I thought cutting him was a terrible idea.
Not good, brother. But yeah, that's all we got for the Wicked Pissah News, Frankie.
Good stuff. So another great Wicked Pissah News. Let's jump into a Foxboro focus.
Here we Frankie, we're going into week 3. You know, we got a lot to bring up with this past game versus Miami. But first, we had some Patriots news, something we actually kind of expected.
Yeah.
Patriots trade last year's second-round pick wide receiver Jalen Polk to the Saints, and the teams are also swapping 2027 and 2028 6th and 7th round picks. Not surprised there. There wasn't going to be a lot of value for him.
Yep.
Polk is currently on season-ending IR. In 15 games played his rookie season with us, Frankie, Polk only had a very underwhelming 12 receptions for 87 yards and 2 touchdowns like we always talk about. And Frankie, look at this pick of the 2024 Patriots draft class. You got Drake May, who's obviously a starter. Then the rest of the guys, Jalen Polk gone, Caden Wallison's benched, Layden Robinson's gone, Jaheim Bell's gone. You know, all these guys are gone, bro.
They gone.
Javon Baker done. Yeah, Gerard Mayo drafted like
I'd say.
Yes, sir. Well, Frankie, let's get into the Week 2 recap, brother. And we want to bring this one up, obviously. So the Patriots beat the Dolphins 33-27. There it is, to bring our record to 1-1. First time we won in Miami since 2019, and we got our first win against Tua.
I know we had never beaten Tua before. Right. I thought that was good.
So, Frankie, let's show the highlights real quick, brother.
Patriots at Dolphins, Week 2. And in the first drive for the Patriots, they got down in the red zone. And Drake May is going to be rolling out, and he's going to find wide receiver Mac Hollins for the 8-yard touchdown pass. His first touchdown as a Patriot. I think it was a good free agent signing, bringing him in. Showing the PAT here, because rookie kicker Andres Borregales is going to hit the right upright and miss the PAT, keeping the score at 6-0. Patriots got the ball back after stopping the Dolphins back in the red zone, and Drake May is going to be floating it to wide receiver Keyshawn Butte for a 16-yard touchdown. Man, that was a great floater right there for the wide receiver. And we're showing the PAT again, because rookie kicker Andres Borregales is going to miss his second extra point of the game. Start of the second quarter, the Dolphins got a drive going down to the red zone, and Tua is going to be looking towards the end end zone for wide receiver Jalen Waddle for the 18-yard touchdown pass. End of the second quarter, and the Patriots are settling for a 22-yard field goal, and Andres Borregales is going to hit that one to bring the score to 15-7. Man, he had to hit that one. Dolphins got the ball back, and they're trying to score before halftime, and Tua's going to be getting the ball, and he's going to be looking for running back Devon A-Chain, and he's running towards the end zone. He's breaking some tackles to get in the end zone for an unfortunate 29-yard touchdown. Hated seeing that, especially right before halftime. Start of the second half, the Dolphins have the ball back, and what we've been talking about the Patriots' third down defense, well, it's right here. Tua's going to bomb it downfield for wide receiver Tyreek Hill, who readjusts for the ball for a big 47-yard gain. How did he catch that on those two guys now? Come on. The Dolphins would end up settling for a 40-yard field goal by kicker Riley Patterson to bring the score to 17-15. And after stopping the Patriots on their last offensive drive, the Dolphins and kicker Riley Patterson are going to be settling for a 44-yard field goal, and he's going to drill it, bringing the score to an unfortunate 20-15. Next Patriots drive, third down. Drake May is going to be getting the ball, and he's going to be looking downfield for running back Ramondre Stevenson. Look at those hands reaching over for the ball. Perfect placement. He's breaking some tackles. He's getting down the field for a big 55-yard gain. After the big play, the Patriots are back in the red zone. Drake May is going to be getting the ball. He feels the pressure from former Patriot Matthew Judon, but Drake May is going to outrun him for the 6-yard touchdown. Patriots going for two to make it a 3-point game, and running back Ramondre Stevenson powers it up the middle to make it a 23-20 game. Now, we're going to fast forward to the middle of the fourth quarter where things got crazy, and punter Bryce Barringer is punting down the field to Malik Washington, who's fielding this at the 27-yard line, and he's going to be breaking 1, 2, 3 tackles, running up the left side. Very unfortunate to see. Bryce Barringer couldn't catch him, and this dude is going to return the punt 74 yards for the touchdown. Actually, the first Dolphins punt return since 2020 by Jakeem Grant. Very unfortunate to see. After that crazy punt return, the Dolphins are gearing up for the kickoff, and they're going to be kicking down the field to running back Antonio Gibson. I'm going to tell you right now, he's pretty pissed off. He's breaking a few tackles. He's hitting the right side, and look at him. He's dashing down the field, and Mike Vrabel's trying to keep up with him, and he's going to be scoring the long 90-yard kickoff return touchdown. Back-to-back return touchdowns. Let me tell you, these fans are getting their money's worth. Dolphins now down 3 with about 2.5 minutes left, and Tua's feeling the pressure. He's going to be stepping up in the pocket, and he's going to be throwing an interception to safety Marte Mapu. That was huge to see. Now the Patriots could hopefully run out the clock. But after a few stupid penalties, we geared up for a 53-yard field goal, and Andres Borregales actually hit it. Dolphins now down 6 with roughly a minute left, and Tua's going to be taking the snap, and he's looking to the left side for running back Devon A-Chain, juking out a guy. He's going down the left sideline. I wanted to throw up. I couldn't believe it. He's taking it all the way for the touchdown. Couldn't believe it. But hold on, everybody. He stepped out of bounds. That was huge. Thank God for that. Dolphins now on a crucial fourth down, and Tua is going to be feeling the pressure from our newly acquired D-tackle, Milton Williams, making it his second sack of the day in the game sailor. And look at the Dolphins fans. You love to see it. Them sad. The Patriots are going to go on to win in Miami 33-27 to bring our record to 1-1.
So yeah, man, it was definitely sitting on the edge of my seat kind of game.
It was back and forth. It shouldn't have been that close, but it was, and nonetheless, it is what it is. I'm glad we got the win.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
Gibson, baby, at the end there.
Yes,
You gotta
sir.
love that.
Yes, sir. But Frankie, I want to bring up some offensive notes real quick.
Yeah, you
Something
got
I
it.
noticed on the off. So the Patriots scored 30-plus points for the first time since 2022.
Wow.
333 total yards and 3 total touchdowns from May, who seemed more comfortable on his decisions. 19-23 passing, and he was making the runs when he needed to.
Yeah, he spread the ball out too. He was definitely spreading it, so I like that.
But I did see mistakes on veteran right tackle Morgan Moses, who alone had 3 false starts penalties, especially in crunch time, dude. We needed
Crazy.
at the end of the game, we were trying to drive and run the clock out. He gets a false start. We ended up having to kick a 53-yarder, which who knows if Borregales was going to make it.
I know, he's missed a few.
You
He
know
missed
what
a
I
couple extra points.
And the Patriots actually had 12 total penalties, with 5 being on the offensive line.
Yikes.
Yeah, bro, so that wasn't looking good there. But lastly, don't get me wrong, Ramondre Stevenson had an awesome game, but we got to get Henderson more than 5 touches.
I said that. I think he needs to touch the ball a lot, honestly.
Right. And then, Frankie, what I noticed on defense here, some quick defensive notes. Tua had 15 passing first downs, especially that big 47-yarder to Tyreek Hill during the start of the second half. And we need Gonzo back, clearly.
Yeah, I agree with that. That's why we're doing the Gonzo card this week.
Yes,
I
sir.
feel like he should hopefully come back this week.
I hope so, especially with us going against DK. But the run defense, Frankie, looking stout again, holding the Dolphins to 61 total rushing yards, and they held the Raiders last week to 56 total. So, like we talked about,
That's big. The run defense has been great.
I do.
It's the secondary. We need Gonzo back,
Yeah,
and we
we
need
need
to Stop locking people that.
We need to get a safety, too. We had 5 sacks this game, especially when it mattered most. Big free agent acquisition, Milton Williams, getting the game-winning sack on 4th down, as we saw in the highlights. He had 2 total on the game. And as a matter of fact, all our sacks came from the new guys. Williams with 2, Landry had 1, Spillane had 1, and LaVon Chason had 1.
Yeah.
And, dude, I'm telling you right now, Harold Landry last week, he had 2.5. So, in an area on defense where we sucked last year, we already got 9 sacks through the first 2 games.
I like that, but we're playing pretty crappy teams.
Yeah, well, true. But again, you still got to look at it that way. We were playing crappy teams last year, not getting sacks.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? So we just need Gonzo back. Well, frankly, we usually don't bring up the special teams, but I have to bring this up.
Got to do it.
We've been talking about how good their return game has looked since preseason. Seems like every game so far, somebody's ripping off a long return.
Yeah.
Now teams are afraid to kick to Travion Henderson. Man, they got to worry about Antonio Gibson.
Gibson look good. You see Vrabel running down the sideline. Keep it up with him.
Here's a clip of that. Dude, look at him. He's running right next to AG, man. He's keeping up with him, man. He could probably still track down Lamar Jackson if he was playing.
Pretty funny. I saw the post game. Antonio Gibson's like, I got to work on my running if he's keeping up with me. He said, I was dying.
Right.
I was dying.
That's a good point right there. But Frankie, obviously, with our return game looking good, obviously we let up that punt return right before that.
That was not good.
That didn't look good on the special.
Coverage right
That's
there.
what I'm saying. He broke like 3 tackles.
It was bad.
They got to work on those punt returns and covering those
sure.
kicks. Because the guy literally broke off 3 people, as we saw in the highlights, dude. I think he broke like 3 or 4 tackles.
Yeah.
Upcoming week 3 versus the Steelers in
could
Gillette.
be Aaron Rodgers' last game ever at Gillette. I mean, tickets are going. I mean, he's a Hall of Famer. Let's be real. So it's like tickets are actually pretty high for this game, but it should be a fun game to watch.
It should be, absolutely. So let's break it down. What's going to be looking like. So the Steelers lost 31-17 in week 2 versus the Seahawks. I'm going to tell you right now, too. 2 guys I think we need to look out for in this one is running back Jaylen Warren. The guy had 18 touches for 134 total yards.
He went crazy.
And tight end Jonnu Smith, who used to play for us, but who OC Arthur Smith uses in many different aspects on offense. We can't let penalties dictate our drives in this one either. 12 penalties is gross, Frankie.
Can't have that many penalties in any game. You're going to lose every game usually. We got lucky that we were playing the Dolphins.
Right. Bro, Steelers only had 2, so we got to fix that for sure.
Oh, that's a fact.
They seem more disciplined, obviously. We're getting 12 penalties. I get a lot of new guys, but I mean, some veterans. Morgan Moses, you got 3 alone.
That's crazy.
What are you doing, bro? And the Steelers defense allowed nearly 400 yards to the Seahawks. We need to capitalize on our drives and build on leads like we could have last week. We could have blew the Dolphins out. We just were letting them get back.
I agree.
All in all, though, I'm going to be taking the Patriots to win this game.
I'm taking the Patriots, too. I mean, again, they looked a lot better on offense. Hopefully Gonzo comes back, and that's really having him back there is going to make a huge difference.
I agree. I'd like to see Vrabel get his first win in Foxboro as well.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
Absolutely, Frankie. Good stuff, brother.
Another great Foxboro focus. Let's do a wicked smart fantasy starts.
I don't want to, Frankie.
Yeah, you got to do it.
Yes, sir.
How'd you do?
All right, bro. Yeah, it was it was a rough week for me, but we'll start in my league. So, Frankie, in my league this week, I lost to you.
To me.
167.68 to 123.90, bringing my record to 1-1. Still the beginning of the season. I'm not getting discouraged yet, but let's break it down real quick. So I'm going to bring up a few studs, the very few studs that I had. Jaden Daniels, obviously he's a little hobbled right now, but I'm going to still bring him up. He had 23.7. Nick Chubb, even though he had 15, those aren't really stud numbers, for where his projections were. He got 15.2 and he looked good. He had a 25-yard rushing touchdown.
He did.
And Roma Dunze with 31.8. Yeah, I played against him in your league. We'll get into that later. And then I had a barrage of duds. A.J. Brown again, 7.7. Ashton Janty, 7.4, averaging the league low in rush yards per carry.
I didn't like Janty this year. I was fading him in every draft. So
Sam Laporta, 5.6. Khalil Shakir. When is Josh Allen going to start using this guy?
He was a dud in my league too. He was terrible.
2.2. And then the Cowboys defense, somebody we thought was going to be good against the Giants.
I thought they'd be good. Giants went bananas.
3.5 points, bro. They let up 37 points to the Giants.
I have Denver's defense against you this week, and they only had 2.5, so it's like
so gross, Frankie.
Who would have thought the Colts?
But speaking of that, Frankie, bring up your team, brother.
I mean, my stud, Jamar Chase, went crazy. 36.5 points. It was great. Caleb Williams had 22, or right under 22. Bucky Irving, 18.1. That was pretty much my best studs. I had a few other guys mixed in. My dud, Denver's D again. I thought they played better. Daniel Jones, I guess, all of a sudden has had a resurgence, but I thought they might do something against him. So they only 2.5 points. And then Breece Hall had a rough game, 5.8. They got smoked by Buffalo. So and Steph Diggs again, only 7 points. I might I had Wan'Dale Robinson on my bench with 28, so I might have to take Steph Diggs out, maybe make a trade. How'd you do in my league?
Yeah, Frankie, actually, it was a close one, and this is now back-to-back weeks I lose to somebody putting up 180 plus, and I have the third most points in your league.
Yeah, you do have a lot
and I
of
got the
points.
most points against me. I lost 200.10 to 184.04, bringing my record to 0-2, and like I just said, I got the third most points in the league. I'm putting up numbers. I'm just playing people in the first 2 weeks that are also putting up numbers.
Yeah, you do. You have a lot of points.
So my studs, Malik Neighbors, bro, 43.7, 167 yards, 2 touchdowns against the Cowboys defense. Went off. Jonathan Taylor, 35.5. The guy had 215 scrimmage yards. Javonte Williams, back-to-back weeks, getting me 20 plus. He got me 25 this week.
You got a good team in my league.
And then the Pats defense, bro, / special teams, they got me 17, which in the beginning they were looking a little rough, but then they picked it up there.
Yeah.
Then my duds, bro. Even though the Eagles got the win, Jalen Hurts only got me 11.54. Very underwhelming. Mark Andrews, the second straight week. What the f***?
He's going to the bench.
1.4. And he did this last year, too. He started off slow, then he ended up leading the league in receiving touchdowns for tight ends. So hopefully he steps it up. And then I had to start Darnell Mooney this week. I was iffy between him or Kyle Pitts. I mean, it didn't really matter. Kyle Pitts only got like 7 points, but Darnell Mooney got me 4.
Yeah.
So very unfortunate, but I still put up 184 points, dude.
Yeah.
Frankie, how'd you look in your league?
I lost. I got beat. Mine of these teams been going crazy too. 2 weeks in a row, he's put up a big number. So I lost 183.7 to 148.72. Tyreek Hill was one of my studs, 18.9. Tet McMillan, 18 points. I thought he played good. And then Saquon Barkley, 17.4. You know who led my team in points was my kicker, Brandon Aubrey, at 24.5 points. He was kicking 60-yarders and go like it was going out of style. This dude's crazy. And then my duds, Shakira, we already talked about, 2.2 points, terrible. Yeah. Denver's D I have in both leagues. He only got 2.5. I mean, Chase Brown, 8.5, terrible. Josh Allen, 12 points is terrible.
When do you see that?
I mean, he had 40 last week, so I mean, I had terrible. And then I had Eckler in my lineup. He got 4.4 before he tore his Achilles. So there you go, bunch of duds.
Well, Frankie, let's get into some weekly sleepers, bro, for week 3.
It. Let's see it.
So let's break it down real quick, and I'm going to start with actually Colts quarterback Daniel Jones at the Titans.
Right now.
Now, Frankie, they're calling him Indiana Jones over there, which is a sick nickname, by the way. For starters, the Colts are the first team in the Super Bowl era to not punt in either of their first 2 games, which is pretty crazy with Daniel Jones at the helm. Now, Jones has led the Colts with 62 total points, 616 yards, and 5 total touchdowns the first 2 games. Again, Daniel Jones?
He's playing crazy. I had him in your league. I dropped him. He was my 3rd or 4th quarterback. So
if Jane Daniels ain't playing this week, I might have to pick him up.
Yeah, somebody better put a claim in for him.
Titans defense has allowed 33 points last week versus the Rams and 20 to the Broncos in week 1. So if Indiana Jones keeps up this play, I see it translating into this week. The guys had 20 plus fantasy points each of the first 2 games, Frankie.
Crazy.
And now the Giants are probably sick right now, I'm sure, seeing this.
Insane.
Number 2, I got Broncos wide receiver Troy Franklin at the Chargers, and I actually had first waiver claim, and I picked him up in one of the leagues.
Yep.
So this guy looked like one of Bo Nix's favorite targets last week with 9 targets, 8 receptions for 89 yards, and a touchdown. While number 1 wide receiver Cortland Sutton only had 4.
Yeah, Franklin's doing good.
He is. Mind you, Franklin and Nix, they both played together at Oregon, so the chemistry is there.
Yeah, I've talked about that before, too. I agree.
And the Chargers, mind you, they're looking good, but they got a thin secondary, so I think they can
That could be a shootout kind of game, too,
back
honestly.
and forth, so I think Franklin could get some good looks. I see him getting more and more utilized in this offense, and I could see him putting up some good numbers against the Chargers this week.
Yeah, like it.
And then number 3, Frankie, I got Packers wide receiver Dontavion Wicks at the Browns. Now, like we talked about earlier, the Packers just lost Jaden Reed due to a broken collarbone, so Wicks should be getting more opportunities. After Reed went down last week, Wicks had 6 targets, 4 receptions for 44 yards, second on the team in both categories. The Browns allowed 4 touchdown passes last week, and for granted, it was to an MVP caliber quarterback in Lamar Jackson, but the touchdowns went to not so noticeable wide receivers. Devontae Walker with 2 touchdowns, Tylan Wallace with 1, and even an older, not used so much, DeAndre Hopkins got on the scoreboard as well. I could see Wicks getting some good looks in this one, maybe getting in the end zone.
Yeah, I like it.
Yes, sir, Frankie. So how's the FanDuel picks looking,
I got
brother?
some good ones this week, and you got the picture of it here. I'll show you the team, but I mean, I'm taking Dak Prescott. He went pretty crazy last week against Chicago. Chicago's secondary has been terrible.
Yep.
He's only 7,300. I'm stacking him with CeeDee Lamb at 8,800. So some of my discounted guys, though, Troy Franklin, we just talked about, he's only 5,200. Got a ton of targets. Roma Dunze, you just talked about it, had a ton of points, 30-something points.
Yep.
He's only 6,400, which I thought was really cheap too. So in Dallas' secondary, we just saw what Russell Wilson did to him. So I expect Roma Dunze to go bananas this week, honestly.
Right.
If Wan'Dale Robinson got 28 and Malik Neighbors got 43 and Russell Wilson's passing for 5,000 yards in a game. It's like this team should go absolutely
looking like prime
bananas.
Russ.
Yeah, exactly. So, and then my one of my other discounted ones is Hunter Henry. He was on the field for the Pats. 51 of a possible 60 snaps last week. He's only 4,800. I expect them to actually get him the ball a little bit more this week. So for 4,800, it's cheap. And then I just threw the Panthers defense in there, the cheapest team left. So I only had 3,000 left to spend on defense.
You got quarterback Dak Prescott, at the Bears and everything. He was playing good last week versus the Giants. You got Breece Hall at the Bucks. We'll see how he does over there. I know they got a pretty stout D-line, but again, the Jets are hit and miss and everything, especially if they don't have Justin Fields, they're going to probably lean heavily on the run.
Yeah, I think they get him the ball a lot.
Jonathan Taylor went freaking crazy last week. So at the Titans defense, I could see him balling out. CeeDee Lamb at the Bears. Again, they just lost Jalen Johnson, so I could see him getting some good numbers there. Roma Dunze, putting up good numbers last week, looking like Caleb Williams' favorite target over there. Troy Franklin, like I said, man, him and Bo Nix having the chemistry from college now in the NFL, that could pay out big. And Hunter Henry, he's always on the field for the Pats, and Drake May does utilize him a lot. I was pretty surprised, and last week wasn't that case. Then you got Christian McCaffrey in the flex. I mean, Mac Jones, if he's playing again, he was looking for him a lot, especially got him on that touchdown in the end zone.
CMC gets the ball a lot.
Oh, dude, mad times. And then you got the Panthers defense versus the Falcons, and again, the Falcons aren't really good.
I mean, they're the cheapest defense. I just threw them in there, and it's just like, you know what? I'd rather have, it was either get CMC and Carolina or get a decent defense and get somebody else. The defense is averaging 12, 13 points. I'm like, I'll take a cheap defense and get a really good running back.
But I'm going to tell you right now, man, the Falcons, man, they only scored one touchdown last week, and it was with Tyler Algier.
I'm saying.
Against the Vikings. So we'll see what happens with that, Frankie. Good stuff, brother.
Let's jump into a lava round. What do we got this week? Talk about last week's picks. I actually beat you last week. We're tied up already.
Yeah,
I like
so
it.
let's break it down real quick.
It down.
We had one difference, and it was the Saints and 49ers game. I took the Saints.
Matt
Frankie took
Jones,
the 49ers.
thank you, Matt. Thank you, brother.
Return of the Mac, apparently.
Dang right.
But Frankie, last week you went 14-2. The only two losses you got.
14-2. I know, it's crazy.
Was the Broncos-Colts game and the Steelers and Seahawks game.
That was a stupid win for the Colts.
Right.
That cost me $900.
Dude, that was crazy, bro.
I had a nice parlay going, and that crazy leverage penalty gave them the Colts to win because that was disgusting.
Bullshit. Yeah, so your boy, I finished 13-3 last
That's a good week.
I took the Saints over the 49ers. I was hoping they could have done something against a Brock Purdy-less 49ers team and everything, but he was looking pretty good.
I don't trust the Saints, that's why.
Both of our overall records bringing it to 24-8, Frank.
I like that.
So let's get into those week 3 picks,
we got some
brother.
good games as usual. Dolphins going to Bills. I'm picking Bills. I know you are,
If
too.
you ain't taking the Bills, you're
crazy.
smoking crack.
Bengals going to the Vikings. Who you got? They're both. It's going to be backup quarterbacks galore here.
Say, bro. Honestly, man, it's kind of iffy, but I am gonna actually have to go with the Bengals there. Jake Browning looked pretty good, and he's utilizing the weapons over there.
I actually like the fact that JJ is going to be out and Wentz is going to be there. I'm taking the Vikings at home. Yeah,
All right.
Vikings at home for me. So we got one difference right there.
Yep.
Texans going to the Jaguars. Who you got there?
Yeah, I'm gonna be taking the Texans. The Texans haven't looked good, especially with that offensive line. But I mean, the Jags, they haven't looked the best.
The defenses look good though. The Texans defense haven't given up more than 20 points.
Pass rush is premier.
So they look good against Tampa's great offense, and then week 1 against the Rams' great offense, they almost beat them. So I'm taking the Texans for sure.
Yeah, I'm taking the Texans.
Colts going to Titans. I know we're both taking Colts. That's not even a question.
Indiana Jones, baby.
Vegas at Washington. Jaden Daniels questionable. What do you think?
So, I mean, it's not official yet, but as of right now, it's in Washington. I'm going to be taking the Commanders.
I gotta do that too. Even if Jaden doesn't play, I'm still taking Washington.
Yep.
Rams going to Eagles. That's going to be a really good game. Who you got?
Yeah, I'm going to be taking the Eagles here. I mean, don't get me wrong. The Rams always play the Eagles hard, especially Jared Verse. He hates the Eagles, and I could see him getting a few sacks in this game, but I'm going to be taking the Eagles.
Yeah, I'm going Eagles also. Atlanta going to Carolina. I'm taking Atlanta.
Yeah, I'm going to be taking the Falcons, Frankie, but I'm not going to lie. I got a cross off here. I was going to take the Panthers.
We got a cross
I just had
off.
a weird feeling,
It could be a weird game.
You know what I mean?
Carolina woke up at the end of that Cardinals game at the end. I will say that. So, but yeah, I got to go Atlanta.
Me too.
Atlanta's been pretty good. The defense has been pretty good.
Right.
Steelers going to Pats. We're both taking Pats. We already talked about that. Packers at Browns. I'm going Packers. That's going to be 100-0 possibly.
Going with the Packers there.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Jets at Bucks. I'm going the Bucks.
Yeah, especially if they don't got Justin Fields. I'm going to be going with the Bucks there.
This is going to be a great game. Broncos at Chargers. We talked about that briefly. Who you got?
So, Frankie, Herbert's starting to make me a believer. I'm going to be taking the Chargers here.
I have to take the Chargers, too, after the Broncos defense looked terrible against the Colts.
Right.
And I am a big believer in the Broncos defense, but they have not done, fantasy-wise, what I thought they were going to do. So, the Chargers have 3 really good wideouts. have an okay tight end, but they have 2 great running backs and a great offensive line.
Right.
And Herbert hasn't been afraid to run. He's making all the right decisions. So they're the best he's played, in my opinion. So
he's trying to prove Boston's banter wrong with that stat I brought up.
Listen, I've always liked the kid. I always thought he was great, but I'm going Chargers here too. That's going to be a really good game to watch, though.
Absolutely.
Saints at Seahawks. I'm going Seahawks. Saints are the worst team in the NFL,
I'm
possibly.
going with the Seahawks, absolutely. Spencer Rattler, give me a break.
Yeah, here's a kind of an interesting game. The Cowboys going to the Bears. Bears are 0-2. They played a couple tight games. I don't know. Well, Detroit beat them pretty bad, but it was close at first, I will say. But the Bears were very close, and the Vikings should have beat the Vikings.
Right.
And Cowboys almost lost and should have lost to the Giants, but I'm still taking the Cowboys. Who are you taking?
I'm taking the Cowboys.
All right, cool.
But I did have a cross.
No, I was like, question. I got a question mark on mine. So Cardinals going to the 49ers. I'm still taking the 49ers. I know they're banged up, but the 49ers D's been great.
I'm not going to lie, Frankie. I'm going to be taking the 2-0 Cardinals.
Okay, he's going Cardinals. I'm going 49ers.
So 2 differences.
All right, we got 2 differences this week. Chiefs at Giants. I'm going Chiefs.
Yeah, bro, I'm going to be taking the Giants. Nah, I'm taking the Chiefs this week. I'm
I
taking the Chiefs, man. I mean, I think they're going to get their first one, but I'm not going to lie. I would love it if they lost to the Giants.
Yeah, that would be cool. 0-3. So Pat Mahomes starts off 0-2, and they lost the Super Bowl. It's the first time in his career he's gone
3 straight
losses. So dating back to last year's Super Bowl.
Yep.
Lions at Ravens could be the game of the week. This is going to be a shootout.
Monday night, yeah.
I'm going Ravens.
Yeah, I'm going to be going the Ravens. It's in Baltimore and everything. I mean, don't get me wrong, both good offenses, but I'm going to be giving it to MVP Lamar Jackson.
I like it.
Yes,
good
sir.
Stuff.
We'll see what happens, brother.
Another great live round. Good luck to you this week, man,
too,
and
brother.
everybody else out there in fantasy. You know what I mean? Thanks for liking and
Let me tell you something. This ain't a game. You want to hit this?
Nah, bruh. I'm good, man.
Frankie, how the did this guy get
I
in
have
here?
no idea how this dude got up in here. So as I was saying, good luck this week. Thank you guys for tuning in, liking, subscribing. This guy. And good luck again, everybody. Thank you for.
What
Why?
is up with this guy, dude? What the is going on?
What the man? We're trying to do a show up in here.
Seriously. Frank, I don't know what this guy's doing or what the hell's going on. Can you break it down for me?
Yeah, I know what it is. It's Jordan Peele's new movie, Him. Looks really good. Looks really creepy and weird.
You know what I noticed with a lot of his movies are always one words. Nope. Us. Him.
Yeah,
I think the only one that's 2 words is Get Out.
Get Out, yeah. It
But
looks
still,
good, though. It looks really good.
He makes some good horror movies and
it's going to be a good one. So.
Absolutely. Frank, what's up with that football throwing machine?
I don't know why he brought that in here. We're trying to film.
Whoa, dude. What? Is he okay,
No,
dude?
he's definitely not okay.
That dude's concussed.
He's got a broken nose or something.
All right, Frankie, dude, that freaked me out. Let's
From
get out of here.
Titletown to your town, stay Wicked Pissah.
From Foxboro to your bro, thanks for listening, everybody, and we'll see you next week. Frank, what the